Hi everybody, it's Gabby and welcome back to my channel. I am back out on the battlefield here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and today's first stop is Devil's Den. So this is a cluster of these huge boulders that was the site of violent close-range combat during the battle. And it's such an interesting spot to explore just because it is all these just massive rocks, and you can see these little spaces in between the rocks where you can just imagine like soldiers would have been in there like fighting with their bayonets. And it's so cool to be here now and be able to explore these spots carefully because it's a little icy. It's almost like you can just like feel the energy emanating off of the rocks, and like they've held onto that story. Alright, got myself in a little predicament here. Okay. Alright. So it is 35 degrees, and that's how you know I'm from Pennsylvania, is because it actually feels kind of warm out just compared to how it's been the rest of the week. It's actually kind of nice out. I'm excited to be able to get out and do some exploring. So I'm up at the top of Devil's Den. It's this little bridge to look down between the rocks. And then over there on the other side, up there, is called Little Round Top, another very significant part of the battle. There were Union forces up at the top of that hill, and then the Confederates were positioned down here, which was a very fatal mistake for them because they were going up the hill but just being like obliterated by the soldiers up at the top. That was the moment that kind of shifted not just the Battle of Gettysburg but the entire Civil War. So we're gonna head up there next. Totally unrelated side note, there's other people here now, and at first I felt awkward about filming in public, which I'm sure if anyone out there is a content creator you will understand. But I think it's been a nice challenge for me to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna own what I'm doing, and honestly nobody really cares. Like if I saw somebody filming, I wouldn't really think much of it, so just own it. I love the sunsets here. They're just always so beautiful. Oh, almost fell again. Okay. This is a good spot to come if you want like a overview of the battlefield. It's a beautiful view from up here. They recently reopened Little Round Top. They were doing renovations for a while. And now it is one of my favorite spots. So, here we are. Just to give you like reference points, because I know I'm always interested in that. So, obviously we're here at Little Round Top. Sachs Bridge is down that way. Devil's Den is right there. The Pennsylvania Monument, let me see if I can zoom in on it, is over there. I'll make sure to take you there sometime because that's a really cool structure. And that's where my great-grandfather's name is. Yep, that's terrible quality, but there you go. And then the town is down that way as well. So again, this is a cool spot if you want to come to just get a good view of everything. I'm really interested in nature-based hauntings and how land can hold on to energy. That's been a big part of my paranormal research, and that's a big reason that Gettysburg is so unique, is because a lot of these hauntings are rooted in the land. But then you also have the orphanage, the Jenny Wade house, the Farnsworth house, different structures that have their own history. Even the Sachs Bridge, how I talked about it, like being still part of the battlefield, but also this more confined space with its own stories. So it's an interesting place to look at all different types of Hauntings. So in my paranormal journey, I think that this is like the best place I could be. These down here are preserved stone walls and breastworks that actually would have been built by the soldiers. So that's another cool thing, to just kind of be here and really be immersed in the stories. I was just thinking about, I totally forgot this happened. We were at Devil's Den one day and there was a family there, and this really young boy was like looking down in between the rocks, and he goes, "Mom, there's a dead person down there." So I mean, I was just thinking, like, he seemed too young to like know the battle history to be like making something like that up. I mean, I don't know, but I believe that kids can like see things and are more open to that. So I just, random story that just popped into my head that's kind of funny, not really, but yeah. The sunset is unreal tonight, look at that. Alright, so final stop for tonight is the Wheatfield, which is, I would say, a lesser known spot in Gettysburg. Seems kind of unassuming as you're driving by, but it is this field where there was a very brutal collision of the Union and Confederate troops, where this land changed hands 6 times as they were fighting, and I have a very crazy paranormal experience from this spot to tell you about. But first, just take this all in. So this is called the Wheatfield because it actually was a wheat field that then became such a significant part of the battle and now remains stained by that. Okay, so I have told you about a few other experiences I've had in Gettysburg, and I talk about them as like these things that are just so unexpected and kind of come to me as flashes, and this was another one of those. I was here with my parents, and if you remember my story of seeing the apparition in the battlefield from last week's video, this was the same day. So we're standing here just like looking at everything, taking it in, and right over there I saw a horse. Obviously not a living horse. It just was there, it was running, and then disappeared. And I remember it so vividly. You could see the sunlight like passing over its back. And every time I have an experience like that, and there's like just that one little detail that I can pick out, is like, that happened. Like, it's undeniable to me because I remember that so clearly. It just, I have to wonder if you're like getting a glimpse into another realm or world because there's things that you hone in on that are just so vivid. It also makes me curious as to why I am susceptible to seeing animal spirits, which, I mean, makes sense, but it's just not something you hear about as much. But yeah, we're standing here and I see a horse. It looked like totally, it was like solid. It looked like a real horse for a moment, and then it just disappeared. And I did try to debunk it. Like, there were no cars on this road that I could have mistaken for that. I remember I even went over, there were no like deer in the area that I saw that I could have mistaken for a horse. Obviously no actual horses that I saw. But it makes sense. There would have been a lot of horses injured and lost on this land as well. So you never know, they could still be here. Alright, sun is starting to set and my camera is about to die. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, do all the things, and I will see you next week. Bye everybody. I forgot the most important part. Until next time, stay spooky.